Hey friend, welcome to my channel KarineAlourde, where we talk about everything, and I'm KarineAlourde. So please be sure to turn on your notification bell so you can always know when I post a new upload. Now let's get into this video. I want to talk about what turns off grown women, because women be embarrassing us out here too. Okay, you have a lot of women that genuinely want to help you guys, give you guys sound advice, that's living the life that you guys want to live, you know, without going to, no offense to anybody or anything, but flying to Dubai, doing some crazy stuff with some man, doing it for yourself, getting your finances right, and investing in the right companies and assets and all those things, and building yourself by going to therapy and making sure your mind is right, being kind, being gentle, being genuinely happy and at peace. You have women that live like that want to give you that gift and that want to give you the step-by-steps. And you have women that are just determined to live the opposite, and that are determined to give these men content, that are determined to embarrass the collective of women and not band together. And it's sad, but that's what we're not going to do. We're going to stop calling women pick-me's and understand the psychology a little bit more, okay? I hate labeling terms, which we do that, high value, low value, all this. All those are just terms to describe a lack of knowledge, which is ignorance, but ignorance has such a negative connotation. But I'm ignorant in many things, and you're ignorant in many things, because all ignorance is a lack of knowledge in a specific subject. That's all it is. And like for me, like I said, with femininity, I started learning how to be a feminine, soft woman who is graceful and charming and kind. In college, in high school, I was a tomboy, into sports, didn't know much about all makeup and stuff. My best friend, Stephanie, was the first one to keep pushing, girl, you can put a little foundation every now and then, figure out your hair and stuff. It's those feminine friends that I have that kind of pushed me into that era, because I was raised around men. I didn't have no like feminine examples around me. So I had an ignorance to femininity. I had a lack of knowledge. And once I was like, yeah, I want to be a soft woman. I want to be, you know, gentle, kind, have all those attributes that make women so pleasant and wonderful. I knew I had to go and educate myself and buy the books, do the work, go to therapy, because I was a mess. I was violent, fighting all the time. I was ready to, girl. But I did the work, you know what I mean? I did the work spiritually. I'm doing the work physically, because I done gained weight, lost weight. Oh man, gaining weight again to losing weight again. Like, it's a journey of learning your body, how hormones work, how to portion control, all those. It's a lot that comes into growing to be your fabulous self. But there's a lack of knowledge, and a lot of women look down at women who didn't grow with that knowledge. The women that may naturally just have it, you know, the etiquette. That's why I don't like the etiquette community much, or the affluent community type of vibe much, because I'm like, a lot of these women look down at women and call them low class, low budget, basic B, you know, because they don't understand. And it's like, why not just educate each other and be each other's keepers? We're not going to do this whole, like, you know, my knowledge, I'm the only one that can be feminine in the group. I'm the only one that can be a boss and have businesses in this. Like, share your knowledge, share your wealth, look out for each other, have more of a sense of community. I saw this video on Instagram of the group of men, we're not going to talk about these two men that are very active in the manosphere, that was just spewing ignorance, and it hurt my soul to watch, where there was like, oh, men get disgusted and their stomach turn, and they're so turned off by women who've had multiple partners, who had babies, who this, like, you know, like, preserve yourself, because no man gonna want a girl who's been passed around and this and that and I'm looking at these men like, y'all disgust me. Y'all must not be around high value women. But you see the type of women these men have on their shows, the type of women they date, they end up in a situation, and the places they frequent, they live in the clubs, okay? So it's like, You're not even around real high value women. You couldn't even touch a woman who's on her. The women I'm around, y'all, if you're on my Discord, see, we have a lot of billionaire women that talk on our thing, and they're not billionaires because of their husbands, okay? They're billionaires because of their businesses, their assets, and a lot of them do marry into that. And they talk to us, and we see it's a whole different category. There's tiers to this. There's tiers. I always tell you this. There's tiers to wealth. There's tiers to the quality of women. And I'm telling you, all the women around me, especially the ones that are married, they were very selective, and they wouldn't even look at these men twice. They wouldn't even, like there's a specific type of women these men attract. Because, sir, you're promiscuous. You think a woman like me that knows about the high rates of STDs and all of those, especially down south, I live down south, I'm very selective. You have no idea how many people in my DMs, and I'm like, no, you like, I see how you move. Because I care about my health. Women know we don't want that. And we don't want no man that's going to embarrass us, mess up our business, our brand, and all of this stuff like that. And you got one time to cheat. There's women that will literally give you one time to cheat. And that's that. That's that. It's like, yeah, we go through the therapy, we do the work, but understand you will lose your wife. You know, you say, hey. I'm just saying, I don't know for most women. I speak for myself, the women around me, the women I know that's on their glow up journey, level up journey, that's on their feminine perspective, that follow the right type of people, that do not like promiscuous men, that don't like nonchalant men that think they're just the prize and be all. Like, I feel in a relationship, both people should be prizes. It's not a girl, you're the prize and you're the only prize and he needs to kiss the ground that you work on. Sis, okay, I'm not for that. I believe that I'm just as special. I'm just as important as you. I'm just as valuable as you. And why am I with you if you're not valuable? If you're not a prize, why would I seek you? Why are we together? So both should be a prize. You know what I mean? No, you have multiple women. It's not cute. It disgusts me. It disgusts me. Stop letting these men dictate, you know, like, oh, it's just women, like you can't have multiple partners. You can't have, I saw this ignorant video. This man was like, once you have more than 2-3 kids, you are not a commodity. No man will want you, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this man that was saying this have like 7 kids. Sir, what makes you think a woman of high quality of substance is gonna want you when you have like 7 kids? And you talking about what a lot of these men do end up married, and then guess what? They be on their 4th, 5th, 6th wife, dating little young things, giving men advice. No real working relationship that's admirable. They're no Michelle and Obama. Okay, they're no Michelle and Obama. They're hopping from women to women because they're stuck with low value women that have no substance, because they can't attract a high value woman because they're not going to go for their bull. They'll go through young girls. Men that date these young women, it's not because they want to feel young and youthful and alive. In some cases, yes, they go through the midlife crisis. No, but it's like these young girls don't know better. They're going to settle for whatever, you know. They're going to let these men dominate over them and not see the red flags because they're so young. They don't know better. We all been there. These older women know what's up. They know, sir, why are you at the club when I'm pregnant at home? I ain't gonna take that. I'm gonna, like, you know. So because they know that older women, more mature women have more standards, have more topics they could talk about and things like that, they tend to not want that. They want to go for that specific type of woman and then label all other women to that specific type of women. And when they're not all like this. Most women are getting their degrees at much higher rates than men globally. It's not just black women, it's all over. Women are making more. Women are going to therapy. Women are doing the work. Women are buying homes, building businesses, doing these things too. And these younger women are looking up to these older women. Okay, they're taking notes. There's going to be a time these men won't even find a young woman to manipulate. They hate when a young woman got their head together. I was raised around older men, my uncles, my dad, you know, and in my church community, all my friends are at least 5 to 10 years older than me. all of my friends. I don't have not one friend who's my age. All of them are married in their 30s, husbands, businesses, all that. Like, I've never had young friends. For me, with men, it was very difficult, still is difficult, to find someone who's where you at, you know, because of just how I surround myself. But I found that when I was like, I couldn't relate to the younger men, so I would date men. By the time I was 18, guys, I wasn't 17 dating, you know. But at 17, this 21-year-old tried to talk to me, and I was like, he's 21, I'm done with high school, so I'm mature. And I realized how immature the situation was, and I was like, ooh, it's a no for me. And I was out, and I was like, oh, I'm talking to older men. That's that. You gotta be at least 5 years older than me for me to talk to you, because what are we gonna talk about, right? And I did that, and I realized these older men are not all that either. And they would get very upset at the confidence and knowledge a young woman have. The older men would try to control you more in terms of how you dress, friends, like you can't have these friends, you can't have that friends, or, you know, try to tell you how to post on social media, where you're gonna go and stuff. And I'm naturally mature, you know, I naturally don't dress away or whatever. Culture plays a big part in it, religion, etc. So I'm naturally conservative. That's what I'm more inclined to. So when someone tries to make me even more conservative, I'm like, yo, what the heck, what you doing? So it came to the point where I'm like, I started noticing the pattern. These older men like younger women, specifically because they're easier to mold. Because my friends that were dating older men, they'll call their men first before they purchase an outfit. They'll like, even if we go out to eat, hey, I gotta get home, it's 10. You know, he don't like when I'm out late like that. Giving you curfew. And I'm off of submission for your husband. I preach this on there. I love the idea of submitting, and you know, my husband submits to me, I submit to him. And him submitting to me is not, I dominate, tell him what to do, I wear the pants. But, you know, respect the tier of, I'm very traditional, naturally. Like I said, I'm conservative. So in the home, I'm a believer. Yeah, the man, you know, you handle manly things in the home. I'll handle the children. I'll handle the nurturing and the stomach, you know, all that stuff. I'm traditional that way because that's culturally my background. That's how it is culturally for me, religiously, all of those stuff. And I love the traditional home. I love seeing my friends be homemakers. They love it. And they still have their businesses too, but there's that balance. I love that idea. And submission from a man is basically him allowing you to be a woman, allowing you to rest in your femininity, and loving you. Because like the Bible said, men, love your wives like I love the church, and we know the Lord and his church. So it's like, I love that aspect. And then women, submit to your husbands. Don't disrespect him, don't dishonor him, you know, allow him to be a man, allow him to take charge when it's necessary, allow him to protect you, to provide for you, to profess his love for you, and be that peace, that nurturer, that calm, that, you know, that love, that gentleness, that thing that makes a home, you know, just be that. So I'm into that. But at the same time, a lot of people take advantage of that, you know, and they use the submission to oppress, to control, to dominate, to where the woman doesn't even have her own identity anymore. She don't know who she is. She's at his mercy for everything. And I'm not here for that. And I see a lot of these young dudes get their podcasts, get their channels, Instagrams, and even these old heads. And they're pushing this very toxic dynamic that it makes me scared for the future generation. Because there's men in these comments thinking, this is how it's going to be. Like, no, it don't work this way. You're not going to find a decent woman. You're not going to find that nurturing, that peace. You're not. You listen to these advice, you're not going to find it. There's no quality of woman that's high that's going to settle for this mindset. We're disgusted by you guys when you guys are easily accessible. I hate an easily accessible guy. I'm inaccessible. That's just how it is. It's not cocky. It's not going to be easy for you to talk to me if you want to talk to me, okay? Because I vet, I take my time, I'm patient, I don't rush nothing, and I don't get the pressure of, sleep. If she ain't sleeping with you, king, find another. I don't fall to those things. I'm too old for that. I want to make sure we're good before, no, So I'm inaccessible. I don't want no one who's too accessible. I want exclusivity, okay? I like exclusive things. I like privacy. I like a man that has a mysterious aura, that Denzel Washington, that Chadwick Boseman. I don't know nothing about you, but you're respected everywhere you go. You're honored. People know this is a man when they see him. He's not out here embarrassing me, embarrassing our kids, embarrassing his family. Because when you out here acting reckless, I look at your parents as a man. I'm like, yo, his mom really didn't do a good job. His dad may not have been present. You dishonor your parents based on how you treat women, how you treat men. You know what I'm saying? So I like a man that's well respected. I don't want people to like you in everything. People can say whatever about you. You've been with every woman and you continue to be with every woman. Or women are talking about the size of your situation all over the place because that's how much you've been everywhere. Or you don't respect yourself. You don't carry yourself right. You don't care for your appearance. You don't care for your hygiene, your skin, your hair, and you're rude to people. You have no morals. You don't understand how life works. You don't understand finances, responsibility. You don't know how to read a room. You're not self-aware. I don't know if it's because I have adopted brothers. And when I say adopted, like my friends that are all brothers, like my best friend's family is my family type of thing. All of them, I don't know if they're all because they're in the military, they're very alpha. All my uncles are very alpha. My dad is very alpha. Like, I don't know if it's because, and I hate the word alpha. I know, we hate it. But that's the word I say, strong, moral, masculine men that have morals, that have dignity, that I don't know if it's attractive for a man to be self-aware of their environment, to know how to quickly get you out of a situation, safety, know how to get you out of danger, and know how to give you advice, like, hey, when you get home, make sure you do this, that, like that safety aspect for me, that men that can teach you how to shoot, and be quick with it and know how to, combat moves and all those things. Like, it's very attractive to be like that. And most of these men are very feminine, and it's not if that's you, naturally a feminine man, I always said I have no problem, but it'd be the feminine men talking about alpha, being masculine, and it's disturbing. Most of these men don't know how to even change a tire. Their nails are more polished than me. Their eyebrows are more waxed than mine. And they don't know how to read a room, get you out of danger quick. They don't know, artillery or any combat move. They get punked by every other man. And, they put themselves in danger. They actually put themselves in danger. I like avoidant men too. Avoid danger. Don't put yourself, teach me. Like, when I see a woman talking reckless to another grown man because her man is there, it turns me off to her man. Because I'm like, no, I need a man that I know I can't do that with. That's going to look at me, you crazy? Why are you talking to this man like that? Like, what's wrong with you? A lot of women, I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but a lot of women are confident to be rude to people, vulgar, talk to people in a kind of way. Their men not going to check them. And a lot of men do that. And a lot of women are with men that they can't even correct. Like, we got to be able to correct each other. Those are things that are attractive, that turn on grown women. Okay, I have to start doing seminars for you men, because I don't want you guys to think what these men are telling you is what's really attractive to a high quality woman that's going to be a good mother to your kids, and that's going to be a good wife, and all that peace, be my peace that you talk about. Y'all have no idea. Like, there's so much work that goes into attracting that kind of women. And women, there's so much work that goes into being that kind of women. We have to, as sisters, start to look out for each other and set the standard. Once you set the standard, these men have to walk accordingly, whether they like it or not. And a lot of them are upset because they don't meet the requirements. They hate the standards that we set. But once you set a standard of, hey, ladies, let's all stop dating men that are promiscuous, I bet you these men will stop. They will stop. They will stop, you know, because women know, if I want to get married to a high quality man that's going to stick around, not cheat, be this godly fearing, you want the Russell and Sierra type of love, although I don't do couple goals, you know, these women know, okay, I can't dress a certain way anymore. I can't talk away. I can't, every other word can't be a curse word. I can't sit at the club 24/7, because that kind of man, that boss man that's working, making bread, doing this, is not at the club all the time. That's not where it's at. So I need to be at fundraising galas, museums, art gallery shows. I need to be at Starbucks, bookstores, you know. I need to be at shareholder meetings, all those things. This is where I'm going to find that kind of quality man. I need to present a physical self that match that energy. So women act accordingly. They know how to act depending on what kind of man they want to date. But if they want to date the rappers, the football players, this, that, and the third, they know the clubs is where it's at. This party is where it's at. I need to dress to get the most attention, this and that, because this is what they want to attract. So if we all started presenting a standard, saying this is the kind of man we want doctors, we want lawyers, we want actual moral content creators, because they make bread too. Y'all need to stop clowning these men too. They make bread on here, okay? But we want them to have morals, dignity, substance, this and that. Like, you move different. And it don't matter if you're not popular. You don't have to be the prettiest girls, because the girls that look the most basic to y'all, that don't got a lot going on, be marrying the wealthiest men that handle business, wonderful fathers that love their kids, kiss up on their kids, homebodies that just want to cuddle and watch a good show and stuff. These are the men they attract, and they live happy, you know. And I love seeing that from my friends, because I have so many great examples surrounding me of these relationships. I refuse to settle. As I see it from my besties, I see it from my friends, my sisters. Like, I see it, and I'm like, I'm not settling for anything less. And yeah, I'm disgusted by men who's too accessible. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Y'all not gonna make it seem like women are the only one that need to have some standards, okay? Okay, we gotta start, when men talk about women are this, they're trash, they're loud, they're this, you gotta start saying, no, you're that, because you attract what you are. Because why is this the only women you date? There's too many great women out there. I don't even talk like this about men. I always say that, and women hate when I do that. There's some women I subscribe to with friends on here. It's like, Karine, I love you, but I hate on your videos how you always say, not all men, some men, this and that. You need to stop capping for women, burn the cape, for men, burn the cape and stuff. I'm like, sis, that's my reality. I'm not going to insult all the great men around me, okay? I'm not going to insult my father, my brothers. They defend me. I'm around men that defend and protect me, okay? I'm around men that defend and protect women, period. They don't have to know you. That's the kind of men I'm around. So why would I talk down about them? Start attracting those men. Be around those men. Don't give attention, value to these type of men that don't protect, defend women, or stand up for them, that are punks, you know. Like, stop it. Because I'm not around that, I'm not gonna insult my whole environment, my group, my community, my peoples. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not. And when I talk about Haitian men, a lot of Haitian women that don't live in down south Florida or whatever, that probably is not around positive, and be like, girl, what you talking about? I don't know no man like that. I'm like, sis, you need to expand your horizons. Just like we as women hate when men label all of us, we got to stop labeling all of them. We hate when these men do these podcasts and generalize us. Why are we generalizing all of them? Okay? And we know the kind of women they attract. We just tell her, hey, you need to do better. Just like they tell us to choose better, start telling them choose better. You wouldn't complain so much if you choose better. Because I don't know now one of my friends' husbands that complain about their wives. They're not sitting out here bitter, unhappy. They love to come home. They can't wait to come home from work after a long day, see their kids and wife. They love it here. Okay? So it's like, I don't know men talking like this, because they chose better. So these men need to start choosing better. Y'all embarrassing yourselves. Y'all embarrassing yourselves. And women who agree, you embarrassing yourself. Have some dignity in 2022, okay? I'm gonna make this video much longer, but this is it. Comment below what other topics you want us to talk about. Be kind in the comments. And if you're a manosphere, don't try me, okay? Don't try me. I tell y'all, my peoples don't play that. And people protect me. So don't try me, okay? Try Jesus. Not even, because Jesus don't play. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Mwah.